From the Globe and Mail, for a change, they actually put an article in which makes some sense. And it's important regarding the system. It doesn't tell you, fill it all in for you, but if you understand the agenda, it helps you with more data. It says 227 years ago, English reformer Jeremy Bentham, for those who know the name, proposed an idea that seemed to foretell everything in 2010. What if, instead of private individuals judged only by God, we had a society based on total and universal transparency, in which anyone could be observed at any moment and government activities and citizens' lives could instantly be assessed by anyone who cared to look. Sounds kind of nice, utopian, eh? And that was the age of utopian thinkers. It says, a world without privacy, he declared, would be a world of universal morality. Well, look around you, folks. Do you see? Well, it's a new morality. I guess morality is anything they tell you it is. A new mode of obtaining power of mind over mind in a quantity hitherto without example, and that to a degree equally without example, secured by whoever chooses to have it, so against abuse. The most concrete legacy of Bentham's utopianism was his idea, then considered dangerously intrusive, of having Parliament conduct its debates in public and on the record. Up to then, Parliament had taken place in secret, and governments had argued that public access to debates would damage national security. The Benthamites wanted it open, and their agenda was pushed by free information radicals such as London Mayor Brass Crosby, there's a name for you, Brass Crosby, who helped publishers use illegal mass documents leaks in the form of then illegal transcripts, later known as Hansard. Hansard's very good looking up today because you got all the House of Lords stuff on it too. Well, some of it, because there's stuff kept in secret yet. To force parliamentary debates into the public. It doesn't matter what parliament debates, it's an acting show, because you see, things are really done in secret through shadow governments and different departments and so on. It says, but Bentham's most radical ideas were embodied in the PANOPTICON. It was designed for a large circular public building, which they're using for prisons now, by the way, whose occupants arrayed around its backlit perimeter can be seen at once from a central tower. This turned open information into a way of life. It didn't matter if there were 50 guards in the darkened tower or one or even none. Everyone in any room knew that there was a good chance he was being watched, so he would change his behavior. Behavior modification. You see? Which is what we're all getting taught to do now, as the cameras are all over the place. You walk around just like they did in the Soviet Union. Your face is blank, if you've got any sense at all. And you can have to look at the sidewalk and everybody's feet as you're walking by and don't look anybody in the eyes. This is how old this agenda is. This was the most popular as a design for prisons, and there's still hundreds of panopticon penitentiaries around the world, but it's also meant to be applied to hospitals, schools, factories, madhouses, that's the world, and facilities for the maintenance of virginity. I don't know what that is. Maintenance of virginity. That's maybe some special clones have made or something. Bentham didn't just want privacy to break down between government and citizens or prisoners. He believed that ending privacy would actually make guards, police, and many government agencies unnecessary, because citizens would do the observing. So turning the world into spies is what he's talking about. The doors of all public establishments ought to be thrown wide open to the body of the curious at large. The great open committee of the tribunal of the world, he wrote, noting the breakdown of privacy would create not only moral behavior amongst those observed, but entertainment for those doing the watching. Well, I'm sure they have a good laugh in all these places where they have all the TV cameras, the monitors, eh? He says the scene in prison, he wrote, though confined, would be a very various and therefore perhaps not altogether an unamusing one. So I guess he didn't see himself as getting observed, just the peasants. He said, we're now living in the world of Jeremy Bentham, which he dreamed about. It's not just that our technologies, from GPS-equipped cell phones to social media accounts to ubiquitous CCTV cameras to full-body scanners, give us the ability to see almost anything about anyone. A great many of us, maybe a majority, have come to believe that privacy is not so much a right or a luxury, but a bad idea, a social evil. You understand? This has got a slant on it, this whole article, and that's why it's in the paper, folks. The guy who came up with Facebook said the same thing. The day of privacy is over. It's a bad thing. Well, it's bad for whom, eh? Whom? They're training the generations, and you all out there, not to even bother with privacy. Who needs it anyway? We've evolved, you see. You don't have tyrannical governments anymore. You don't get psychopaths born in every generation anymore. No. Everybody's so nice and sweet. It says in January, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, just declared Times Magazine's Person of the Year. But don't worry, folks, because Hitler was too in the 1930s twice. Took to a stage and denounced privacy as an obsolete value. When I got started in my dorm room at Harvard, he said, the question a lot of people asked was, why should I want to put any information on the internet at all? Why would I want to have a website? That changed in less than 5 years. Now, to reveal your private world and to peer into the intimacies of others, willingly or not, is often considered normal. And Mr. Zuckerberg, it's interesting to talk about a sucker born every minute. There's Mr. Zucker, which is sucker, Anyway, Mr. Zuckerberg realized that he could end the world's privacy fixation. And he could do it all himself, eh? Do you understand? They're all connected. The stars they give you. The guys that play their role, like Bill Gates and all the rest of it. Pulled up through the Doro lights, just like in the Matrix, and told what to do. Live very well off it, mind you. We're all part of you must believe, you see, it's different guys willy-nilly, all unconnected, that is bringing this world into existence. There's nothing further from the truth. There is an incredible organization above all this, with all the money in the world. Sincere, the lenders. Back with more after this break.